expansion. It's the same thing. Okay, right. I'm gonna let Chuck explain to you about other countries, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit about Japan because I've built Japan before, and this will help you to build Japan if you're interested. Um, I got into this business because of Japan, not because of Korea. Okay, back in 1992, 1993, it was a long time ago. There was a guy named by Kanenko who was ex-professional baseball player who dominated Japanese market with a new skin. He did a pre-market for Japan for new skin, and when new skin opened in Japan, they were like line mile and a half long, and they were all his people. Okay, and when Japan opened with new skin, he made more money than anybody else in U.S. Okay, so that was the reason why I got into this business, because I wanted to do the same thing for Korea, right? Since then, so Amway does huge business in Japan, New Skin does huge business in Japan, and Herbalife does huge business in Japan. A lot of companies that's been there for a long period of time, around 90s, are doing big business. And Japan is like number 3 or 4 countries in the world in terms of network marketing. But since 30 years ago, Japan's changed. You probably already know Japan population is very old. They're like 60% are 60 years or older. 30 years ago wasn't, because 60-year-old were 30 years old, right? So Japan's really old. There are very little amount of young people, very few young people there. Okay, and economy has been depressed for last 30 years. So it's not the same country 30 years ago when those guys were making millions overnight, but so it's a little different. Okay, so don't get too excited about overnight success in Japan. It's not going to happen. Good thing about Japanese are very careful, and once they commit, they stay. So a very stable market, but it's going to be a slow process. Okay, so don't get overly excited that you'll have 1 million people overnight. Okay, so just a caution. Good thing about Japan for us in United States, or even for people from UK or European, they love us. Okay, they like Americans. They don't like Koreans. They don't like Chinese. They're very, very what you call prejudiced people, but they like Americans. And when the Americans approach, they tend to listen. So when I was building Japan on the other company, there are many American young entrepreneurs taking huge piece of the market because they were active in LinkedIn and were able to get 20, 30, 40 people who are interested in business. So if you are interested in building Japan, us, the US or UK are good people who can do that, okay? But they're slow. It's not like 30 years before. I was super excited about China because China is vastly young people, people who were born in 90s. They dominate the market. They are the forward thinkers, and there are a lot of network marketers who are able to turn on like that with millions of people. That's why I was excited about that. But Japan is not like that. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that. Big difference. Although they're right next to each other, they're hugely different animals. So just a word of caution. Whether you want to build Japan, whether you want to build EU or UK, the last thing you want to do is get a plane ticket and go over there. It's not like that. Also, everywhere in the world is having same problem with the coronavirus. I didn't know this up until last night. I happened to, everybody knows I'm a wine lover, right? So I was always wanting to do some wine trading, and I was able to secure a very, very reputable winemaker, and I was able to export some wine to Korea. Wine is not a money making business. Okay, so don't get involved. It's just hobby. Anyway, we used to ship stuffs from Korea, I mean US to Korea, and it took 11 days on ship. Okay, 11 days. That's it. Sometimes 10 days. Now it takes 9 weeks. Not because ships are slower, it's because there aren't that many trade. I mean, there's just trade, the amount of level of trade is fallen down so much. The availability of the ships for the less than container load is very hard. So I'm imagining it's same everywhere in the world. That means this, Corona thing is going to really affect. It will affect a lot of people, even in UA, even in EU, even in Japan, everywhere. That means they're all looking for other business opportunity to supplement their income. So it's overall great opportunity, okay? Not just us. So keep that in mind. So this couldn't be uh, more opportune time than ever for us. That doesn't mean we forget about our friends or our neighbors to 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 share and go build other countries. Okay, other countries are second. You have to know how to build here first. And if you know somebody who knows uh, somebody in France, that's great. And that's the approach that I'm taking. Okay, so that's something I wanted to share. Another thing that I really wanted to share was that you know uh, this business, the essence of this business is nothing more than you getting excited about the product or business opportunity and share with your neighbors. I recently sponsored somebody right next to my house. Just we share a wall together. He was in one of the Zoom with the CeCe and Chuck, and he's a doctor. And I've told him about this, long time ago. I even gave him a case, the can of shake to try. He wasn't interested, but now he's interested because of 11-day shred, and he saw me, transforming. And he told me, you know what? I'm not going to go into this meeting. Okay, don't tell me about anything about this network marketing bullshit. He said, but if this works, I got people to share because my nurses are all fat. They're interested, and and then my brother is a plastic surgeon. He's interested in looking for thing. His next door neighbor has, the workout program that she's always looking for, just things to sell. So he's coming up with all kinds of ideas if stuff's work. And I know this stuff's work, right? That's kind of things we're looking for. You get a couple of those guys in that are truly product motivated and product result motivated, not just money, money, money. That's when your business starts to grow. Okay, and it applies to other, expansion of other countries. I've been guilty of promoting business too much. Okay, and because that's how I joined. But I'm learning more and more. If you're all business, it might last too long. But if your foundation is based on product efficacy and product helping other people and other people and other people, then it is, it prolong, it stay longer and give more chance for the person to be successful. So please, with all these things going on, let's not forget the core of our business. That's you take the shake and stuffs work and release many, many pounds in your body, make you healthy and long life. Okay? So I wanted to share that with you, and I'm going to turn over my mic over to Chuck and CeCe. Take it away.
Okay, I guess CeCe was pointing. That means I'm going first. All right. So I had a couple things. I want to first of all edify Kwangsoo. His advice and wisdom is so right on, spot on. The last thing we want any of you to do is go completely focused on international and forget about your local business. If you're not enrolling people, if you're not rank advancing locally, what are the chances of you doing that internationally? And so really focus on the basics, build your business local. But realize that's how it grows international. As you're building your business local, you should be asking everybody, who do you know? Now, I don't recommend you list off all 11 countries we're opening next week, but pick your top 3. For me, it's easy. It's Germany, it's Japan, it's Italy. Those are my 3. Now, for other people, it's going to be different, but just pick 3 countries. I'll give you a couple quick examples. One of the guys that used to own the network marketing company, one of the 4 that I was the number 1 guy in and whatever, but his name's Paul, and I know Farmer John, a couple of you might know Paul, but I asked Paul, I'm like, who do you know? And I list off a few of those countries. He goes, I know a leader in Japan, I know a leader in Poland. Let me hook you up. It's that referral. It's very seldom who you know. It's who you know that knows somebody. Another good example is a lady named Mandy Thorne. I met her through traditional networking here locally. A guy in Prime America thought we'd be a good connection because we're both in the health space. This Mandy and I hit it off. We shared. She referred a few people that joined, but she really didn't do a whole lot. And I was just kind of staying in touch with her. And then I sent her a text here. I'll try to find it exactly, where I basically said, I know you didn't express interest in personally building the business, so this is just a request for referrals. You know anyone in Japan, Germany, or Italy? Chuck, that was my text. So I'll read it to you again. Nothing magic about the words, just personalized a little bit. Her name, Mandy. I know you didn't express interest in the business, so this is just a request for referrals. You know anybody in Japan, Germany, or Italy? Chuck. And then I sent her another text about a different issue, someone who needed her services. And then she writes back, I actually do know someone in Germany, exclamation point, exclamation point. I'd like to be introduced. This was me. I'd like to be introduced to him or her. I'll network from there. Thanks. She asked me, what should I say to make the introduction? I said, just let him or her know you have a friend who's interested in meeting people in Germany who speak English. I'm looking for introductions to entrepreneurs who might be interested in a home-based health and well-being opportunity. Note, I'm not expecting your contact to be interested. I just need introductions. And so that's how you network. And CeCe likes to use the training from this friend here, Fraser Brooks. This guy was part of a business that I was involved in prior to Isagenix. And he opened up Russia, and his dad and him and the guy in Russia made literally $1 million plus from one restaurant owner who was Russian, who was living in the UK. And so it just takes one right person who leads to one right person. I don't even remember the lady's name over in Russia that ended up getting involved, but she was like 3 levels deep. In our opportunity, if you will just network and up your activity level, don't worry about the no's. Let the no's roll off your back faster than you can imagine, and just get out there. I have a goal between now and celebration of touching 500 people individually. Now, with the death of my father this past week, I'm a little behind, but I'll hit that goal. I'm going to touch 500 people individually, just asking them that simple question right there. Who do you know in those 3 countries? And I might mix it up if I know they know people in other countries. Like one person was Italian, so I made sure I put Italian in. Another guy knew he had contacts in France, so I put France. But just, it's all about context. And it's not posted on social media. In fact, you should not do that. It's individual messages, Facebook Messenger, text, or call. Another guy I've been in contact with for 10 years. He's in Germany. Now that we're finally opening up Germany, I reached out to him. He's signing up when we get going there. Another guy in Sweden signed up when we get going there. So you can do this. I promise you can do this. But it's all about building your list, contacting people at a ferocious pace right now. And like Kwangsoo said, stay focused on the main thing. All right, with that being said, I want to promote Celebration. I'm going to turn over to CeCe. We always promote big events. And anytime you come on a call, anywhere near a big event season, we're going to be promoting that event. We're going to tell you it's going to be the best, the biggest, greatest event ever. And it's true every single time. This time might be a little bit different. This is the first time in my career where I've done a virtual event. This opens up the opportunity for so many more people. But again, you cannot get lazy at this time in the game. You've got to invite everybody. You've got to push, push, push. They don't know how valuable this event's going to be. They don't know why Eric and his team should get up at midnight in the UK to be on this event Friday night, which will be Saturday morning their time. The average person's not going to want to do that. But if you will edify it and promote it well enough, these events are where people increase their belief level, where people think, hey, I can do this, where people get excited enough to go out and introduce this to one person or two people or three people or maybe 10. But it's these big events where the decisions are made to do this business as a business. And so I want to encourage you with everything in my being, use the next 6 days between non-celebration to ask everybody in your contacts, who do you know, and pick your 3 countries or 4 countries. If you want to do more, do more. But I think it's better to keep people's mind at 2 or 3. You can always come back if they say, I don't know anybody in those countries. Say, well, here's a list of 7 more. Do you know anybody in these? But get the word out there. But then get commitment from people on your team to be on the event celebration. Now, Kwangsoo, I didn't ask you about this, but I think you mentioned we're going to do the Zoom again like we've done in previous events. So we'll have the Isagenix streaming, but we'll also have the Zoom meeting going at the same time. So you can join us as a team. Now, we're having a bunch of people over our house. We're actually having a dinner, and everybody's bringing some stuff. It's going to be an amazing, fun time. We're going to do that before the event. Then when the event starts, it's party's over. It's serious. It's business. Don't be talking. If you want to talk, go on your car. I don't care. But in my house, you're watching the event, and you're paying attention, taking notes. Because the 3 hours, Friday night, I believe, where Eric and the other leaders are going to explain this Isagenix 2.0, it's going to be a paradigm shift. And the timing is so perfect. If you've watched Duncan Driscoll's chart, when a company hits $1 billion in sales, what can happen, doesn't always happen, but what can happen is that vertical growth. And so the next 2 to 3 years, those of us, including every leader that's listening to my voice, either live or recording, every one of you can achieve your goals in the next 2 to 3 years. I believe that with all my heart. But it won't happen if you just sit back and watch us do it. If you just come on these calls and that's your involvement for the week, or if you just listen to recording, that's your involvement. You've got to get out there and plant the seeds. So I want to encourage all of you. First of all, make the commitment that you're going to block out the time for Celebration Live. You should have got an email from corporate. If you have any questions, we'll be posting ICE World Facebook group. If you're on my team, you're going to be getting personal messages from Diane and me, encourage you to be on there. But then you've got to do the work to get your people on there. Here's one difference about this than any other event I've been a part of. This is prime for you to invite prospects. So if you've been talking to somebody about the business, or if you've been talking to somebody about Isagenix, invite them to check out the scope and the largeness. Let them get exposed to the community. Let them get exposed to the professional leadership we have. I promise you, there's not a better opportunity meeting you can bring somebody to than Celebration Live Friday night. It's going to rock the house. I promise you. People are going to want to be a part of this community. So, CeCe, I'm going to turn the call over to you. Thank you all for your kind thoughts and wishes during a time of grief with my dad. But trust me, after 2 years of him suffering with Alzheimer's, it's been a real celebration in our family to know where he's at right now. So we're very happy about that. I definitely will miss my father, but I've been missing him for the last couple of years. So it's a slow grieving process, and it's been great. So thank you for all the love and support. I truly appreciate it. Back to you, CeCe.
Thank you, my friend Chuck. And yep, you know that we've been praying together for your dad for some time now. So I too am grateful that I know where he is, and for his rest and his rest and his peace. So thank you so much for letting us all know and sharing that with us, so that we can love on you even more than we already do. So, guys, Kwangsoo and Chuck gave you all some really powerful information, right? We know exactly what we know what we should be doing in terms of really exacerbating and really taking advantage of the international expansion. We know what we should be doing in terms of Celebration Live. My question is, would it be helpful for you guys to have specific language that you could use to talk to people about either one of those things. Would that be helpful? You guys tell me. Chuck says, yeah. Jody, look, I see a hand up from Jody. Habiba says, please, please, please. Margaret and Diane, I got some hands. Cheryl said, yes. iPhone said, yes, ma'am. All right, great. Then let's do this. We're just going to take a few minutes. I'm going to take a few minutes to give some language, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time being in action, because Chuck said it the best. If you just watch us do it, it's going to be fun being able to say, oh, I knew CeCe president back when. It's going to be even more fun to be on stage, right? Next to CeCe president, getting being awarded you as an Isagenix millionaire as well. That's going to be more fun. I promise you, I celebrate Kwangsoo when he hit 8-star. I promise you I did, or 7-star, sorry, 7-star. I don't want to give you a promotion yet, because right? So trust me, I celebrated Kwangsoo, like yelled and screamed, oh, my team member hit 7-star. Guess what? It's going to feel even better when I do it, right? So let's give us some language that we can use, and let's use that language in the last 30 minutes of this time to get into action. So again, when it comes to international, Kwangsoo said we want to start local, build global. So there are a couple of different places that you can go. Now, Chuck gave us some really great language. The first place I'm going to invite you to go is to your current customers. All right, it's to your current customers. And again, with your current customers, I love the language that Chuck used. And I'm going to give it to you guys again. He said, and I'm going to find it. I put it in the chat box. He said, I know, wait, where'd it go? Oh, I know you didn't express an interest in the business, so this is just a request for a referral. I know you didn't express interest in the business, so this is just a request for a referral. So look, they're immediately not like, oh, she's trying to get me to do this business again. No, this is just a request for a referral. Do you know anyone in A, B, or C? Right? So I want so let's commit, right? It's about commitment. It's about committing. Who can commit? Who will commit? That everybody who is a customer or was a customer, that you will reach out to them and ask them that question, either via text message or telephone. I personally recommend we pick up the phone, because we can do a 2-for-1. We can ask them for that referral and invite them, which I'm going to give you some language for in a few moments, invite them to celebration. So I personally prefer the telephone. You can check in, how are they doing, check in on their goals. And then listen, I know you didn't express an interest in the business, so this is just a general request for a referral. Do you know anyone in X or Y or Z, your 3 countries? Well, listen, I thought of you because, right? I thought of you because, and now let's invite them to celebration. I thought of you because, I know when we originally talked, you talked a lot about wanting to be a part of a community, or needing accountability and support, or, you wanted to really understand the science behind this nutrition. Or I thought about you because you expressed an interest in the beginning in the financial opportunity, but something got lost along the way. Whatever the reason you thought about them, but I really think it'd be powerful next Friday at 7:00 Eastern. Now you're making the bridge to celebration. Next Friday at 7:00 Eastern, we're gonna be hosting an online event called Celebration, and I think you'd love it because. And tell why you think they'd love it, right? So these are just some sentences. I thought of you because, remind them what they said, that you think it would be a great reason for them to attend celebration. And then, right? And then the next part is, and I think you'd love it because, and then tell them what they're gonna get. Tell them what they're gonna get that's in alignment with what they wanted, with why you thought about them. Right? So if we can pick up the phone, now you can do it via text, but I'm going to tell you it's more powerful if you can pick up the phone and call every single person you've ever enrolled or is currently enrolled and ask them those 2 questions. Can we all commit to that? I'm committed. Like, and I've enrolled a whole lot of people, so it's a lot of phone calls, right? But I'm committed to that. Okay, BB said yes. Lisa said yes. Love it. Chuck said yes. Kwangsoo said yes. What if you don't have any customers? Anybody on here not have any customers yet? Margaret. Okay, great. Margaret, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So for you, Margaret, so we don't have any customers to call necessarily. But here's what we can do. We can use the exact same language on people that were former prospects. Have you had any prospects that you've talked to about Isagenix, Margaret? Perfect. So all of us can do that as well. So we can all join Margaret in following up with our prospects. Listen, I know Isagenix wasn't the right choice for you at the moment. However, I thought of you because so I know, I know you're not interested in Isagenix, or Isagenix wasn't right for you in the moment. So this is just a request, a general request for a referral. Do you know anyone in Same principle. Like Chuck gave us the framework, same principle. And then with that same referral who's maybe said yes before or said no before, or maybe they just ghosted you or whatever they did, you can say, after you've asked them that question, you can say, listen, I thought of you because, when we did talk, I know these things were interested, these things were important for you. And on Friday, we're having an event at 7:00 Eastern online, blah, blah. And I think you'd love it because right? Those 3 things that they match, the 3 things that they were looking for. I like the number 3. So you can match the 3 things that they were looking for with 3 things that that they're going to get from celebration. So is anybody willing to come on the line with me and do a role play?
I'll role play if I can.
Hey, BB. Look, I love it. Leaders go first. Thank you, BB.
Hey.
So BB, so let's just decide that BB is a customer. We'll make you, BB, you're a customer of mine. And you be like, CeCe, don't talk to me about business. I don't want to know about business. Nothing about business. I just want to use my products and just leave me alone. You were that person.
Got it.
All right. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, BB, it's CeCe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing great, CeCe. How are you doing today?
I am absolutely wonderful. I'm wonderful. How are things been going?
You know what? Everything is going really, really well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your baby girl doing good?
She is doing phenomenal. And actually, she's still asleep right now, which is even better. This teen angst, but she's an amazing girl. I'm glad she gets some time off right now with everything going on. How about your kiddos?
Yeah, she has an amazing mama, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's where she gets it from.
Thank you.
You know what, Mike? My kids are, they're grown. So I barely know where they are, how they are. I don't know.
Ooh,
They're
honey.
alive. I checked their location on my iPhone, so I do know
Right.
they move, so I know they're alive somewhere.
Exactly.
Hey,
I hear
listen,
you.
I know. Listen, I have a question for you. I had a quick question for you. I wanted to check in. So listen, I know that you're not at all interested in, in the business with Isagenix. And so this is just simply a request or a referral. But BB, I know, you are pretty savvy internationally. Do you know anybody in Germany or Japan or Switzerland?
CeCe, I'm really not interested in the business aspect of it, and therefore I'm not really too comfortable with making referrals. I mean, I'd love to be able to help out somehow, but how could I do that in a seamless way?
Well, you know what? I'm actually not even, think of it this way. I'm actually just looking for introductions to people that might live in those places. You know, I don't expect you to do anything other than if you think I'm a nice, kind person that you would like to connect with other nice, kind people that you know there, if that's something you'd be open to do.
Absolutely. You know what? Someone just popped to mind. One of my oldest friends lives in Germany. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what, circumstantially how that fits in or how I can do that. But yeah, let me know how, because I'm sure you would love them. They're a really lovely family. And I love you, CeCe. So
Oh,
we
thank you.
can make that happen.
I would absolutely appreciate that. Listen,
Sure.
I'm really just looking to connect and learn more about the people there, the culture there, what people are looking for. And if it's something, if we have something that makes sense for them, then I'll definitely share them. But it's more about really just getting connected with people. So I would love if you could just maybe connect the three of us, do a Facebook introduction. Would that be okay?
Sure, I can try to work that out. CeCe, though, I'm pretty interested, though. You're saying now, what's going on with these 3 countries? You guys have obviously expanded?
You know what? We have. So Isagenix is expanding throughout the European Union and Japan starting next week. So we're opening in places like Italy and Germany and Switzerland and Austria and Finland. And yeah, so I can send you a list. Would you be open to finding out more?
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty fascinating that during a time of, mass layoffs and, the economy crashing, your company is actually expanding.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I'd like to take a look at that. Yeah.
You know what? Then I tell you what, here's a perfect opportunity. On Friday at 7 p.m., or 4 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
On Friday, we're going to be having an event because of celebration. And actually, I really thought about you for this event because I know for you were really into the science behind our products. You were really, wanting to understand more about the company. And that's really what they're going to be doing during this event. So you'll get a chance to learn more about who we are and why we even do what we do. Does that make sense?
You know what? I would absolutely love that, actually, because as you know, I won't go without my products at all. So, and I love them, and the bit that I do know, I'd love to hear more. Yeah, that sounds really good. So 4 o'clock, is that this Friday?
Yeah, that's this Friday. It's July 17th. And so what I'll do is I'll send you the full agenda. It's completely and utterly free. It's live online. So I'll send you the complete agenda. And then we're even going to be having a watch party via Zoom. So you can watch it with the rest of my team members and the other people in that Be Set Free life that I put you in, that you're always commenting to the people on.
Yeah.
So a lot of those folks will be in there as well. So it'll be actually fun and engaging.
That sounds really good. Is that, I'm just trying to see how that would connect with referrals I'll be giving you. If you give me.
If you just listen, I'd love to support you. So if you decide it's something you want to do, I will do everything with you. I can help you with those people, help you with those conversations. And if they decide to enroll, they'll be placed under you. Absolutely.
They'll be placed under me. Wow.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe this is something I should take a bit of a look at. I mean, I'm still pretty hesitant, just, so busy, but, I'm definitely intrigued. So yeah, let's do that. I'm there.
Perfect. All right. 4 o'clock on Friday, and then I'll just wait for that introduction, and then I'll help you with that, and we'll go from there. Okay, darling?
That sounds wonderful. I look forward to that list too, to see who else I know in other countries.
Perfect. Do it. I'll get it out. I'll get it right out to you.
CeCe, thank you. I'm really glad you called about this. Thanks very much for thinking of me.
Darling, take care and give our baby girl a hug for me.
Will do. Likewise.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to tell you, I can't even tell you guys how many times conversations have turned that way for me, but for other team members that I've said, listen, just call and check in. Like, we're just being of service to people, you guys. Like, literally, we're just being of service to people. And the 2 sentence stems you know, the 2 sentence stems, right? Like, which were, again, what Chuck said, I know you aren't interested in the business. So it's like a takeaway, right? Like it lets down their guard. I know you're not interested in the business. Or for Margaret, right? If you're calling your prospects, I know Isagenix wasn't right for you at that time. So this is simply a request for a referral, but who do you know in these 3 countries? Right? And then I thought of you because next Friday at 4 o'clock or 7 o'clock Eastern, we're having this event called Celebration. And I think you'd love it because we'll be doing this and this and this, which you already told me were important to you. If I invited you, could you come? Right? That's it, you guys. So let's take this last 15 minutes. Let me know if there are any questions, or let Chuck know or Kwangsoo know if there are any questions. And I want us to take this last 15 minutes to really get in action. But let's answer any questions you might have first. Hey, Margaret.
Oh, I have a question. I already contacted an old college roommate about who does she know in any country, and she came back with a couple of names from Sweden, and now I don't know what to do. And then she said, "What's this all about?" And then, so I don't know what to do. What do I do with those names?
So she's not connected you to them via Facebook or anything?
No, she hasn't.
Okay.
No. She just gave me 2 names.
Oh yeah. Okay. So unless you have, if they're on Facebook, they're on Facebook, you can try to connect them and say, hey, my friend such and such referred me, asked me to give you a call. Hope that's okay. Would love to connect with you, right? Like you can do it that way.
Okay.
You know, other than that, if she wants to give you their emails, you can send them an email for an introduction. If she wants to give you their phone number, you know, many people have WhatsApp.
Okay.
You can do an introduction that way as well. But yeah, unfortunately, just the names don't help. I guess we should have clarified that. We need more than names. We need actual introductions, right? Like that's what we're looking for. We would love for her to send out whatever method works for her. So what you heard me say to BB is, listen, can you make us an introduction via Facebook? She said, yeah, she'll do that. So that's what's going to be most powerful. I often will have people do 3-way Facebook messages or 3-way text messages. When I do international, they're often 3-way WhatsApp messages. So they're, just a number of different options.
And
make sense?
CeCe, let me add on that. Margaret, her advice was spot on. One of the things you want to do early on is introduce them to me, since I'm your success coach, and let me do a 3-way call with that person. And I will very softly find out if they just want to give the referral or if they want to personally benefit from the referral. Very softly. But then if they say, well, I wouldn't mind benefiting, just like Habiba did the example, we can enroll your friend who then can enroll her friends. Chances are she'll say, I'm not really interested. That's fine. Then they've opened the door for referrals, and I'll step you through during that call how to be introduced to that person. Because ideally, you're going to want to be introduced to that person with me on that line with you. I've got a little more experience with international and how to enroll them and things like that. So you're not going to be blind out there trying to do this.
Okay.
So try to set up a 3-way call with that person who's got the connections. That'll be our first step. And then I'll walk you through step by step. And it's just for those of you listening, if you're helping some of your people, it's not difficult. I'm basically going to say, this is a referral program. Would you like to benefit financially yourself, or you just want to benefit Margaret? That's the simplest way I put it. And then I let them decide. I'm not going to try to talk them into it. If they say, I just want Margaret to benefit, I'm going to say, that's awesome. We all love friends like you. Bam. Would you please introduce us, like CeCe said, either on WhatsApp or Facebook, just a way that's common. International, a lot of people use WhatsApp, but Facebook works too. So anyway, I hope that helps.
Thank you.
That was perfect. What other questions you guys have before we go in action for 14 minutes? All right, so let's do it. Let's call all of our customers, and let's call all of our former prospects and ask those 2 questions. And let's get in action. Let's be there. Celebration. So for Celebration, the Zoom that we are getting on Friday night, and we'll use it for all 3 days, is the Zoom of Did we decide Chuck or Kwangsoo?
I'd say we use Kwangsoo's.
All right, this same Zoom.
Wait a second.
So
Wait a second. He's.
he said no.
Well, I have to go into other Zooms. I have Korean.
Got
Zoom,
it.
so I can't use ours.
We can use mine. I'm good.
Let's do user CeCe because we're gonna have that party here. I'd rather not be worrying about Zoom, so
Right.
that'd be awesome.
So everybody, my Zoom login information is there, but it's the same Zoom that we use for our Tuesday, Thursday night calls. The meeting ID for my Zoom is 214-406-6860 meeting ID. Zoom meeting ID 214-406-6860. No password is required. And that's the Zoom that we will use starting. And actually, I'll probably go live at 5:30 p.m. That's for the ISA body workout. So if anybody wants to log on as of 5:30 p.m. Friday night, July 17th, I will open the line live for the ISA body workout at 5:30 Eastern. Okay? And then general session.
Right?
Say
You'll promote that in our Facebook team page.
I'll promote it in our Facebook. Yep, I sure will. And then we'll stay on from 5:30 that night until, we'll stay live from 5:30. The general session starts at 7. So if you're not going to work out with us, no worries. But at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you want to make sure that you are on Zoom meeting ID 214-406-6860. Remember, get that out to all of your customers and contacts and friends, anybody who's going to be joining you for Isagenix Live. Here's the thing. Whoever has the most guests wins, right? Like, that's the name of the game. What's the Kwangsoo or Chuck? I know you guys know in the industry, for every person you have at a major event, it's $1,000 increase to your business, right? Isn't that the number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not making it up. So listen, whoever has the most guests wins. That's the answer. So go talk to some people. Go have some conversations. All right, you guys, you got 11 more minutes. We have an 11-day shred starting Monday. Listen, guys, I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna stop the recording for this real quick. Hold on.